Hey guys, it's Let 'em Taters. This is season 6 War 6 against D69. Coming into this war, D69 was 5-0, ranked 3rd. We were 4-1 coming into this war. We lost our previous war against MNG when we had the 3rd spot on the leaderboard. So, hoping to dethrone D69 here. And on this path, I've got a couple Mystics, and then I've got a Skill Champ on node 23, which is common placement for a Korg, whom I like to use Blade against, and then, of course, I've got Killmonger on node 29, 565. So, I've got Blade for the first couple fights here, and potentially the 3rd fight on node 23, and then I've got Magic plus Morningstar for at least node 29 to take down that Killmonger. So, the first fight is a duped 6-star Mystic Champ, and it is a Loki from old Scouter Lens. And you see, I'm boosted fully for my path. I'm not going to be using magic in any of these first 3 fights, so I go ahead and boost up all the way. I didn't want to waste like a smaller boost just to throw on bigger boost for later fight, for the fight on node 29. So this node is defensive, and you know, Loki's awakened ability helps him power gain up until he has 1 bar of power, but after that it's just standard. So the strategy is obviously just to bait out his L2 there and then dump my L2, and that finishes him off pretty easily. And then my second fight is all kinds of stuff. It's got heal block on it. It's got power reserve, unblockable 1, and kinetic reactor. So, but the best champs here are going to be champs that you know, you would normally bait a heavy out of. The placement for magic here is fair because of the limbo damage. You're not able to heal it back up. So. You see there too, I just literally wasted my invulnerability boost like a retard. I don't know, it happens sometimes. You know, I'm definitely not perfect by any stretch. Like you know, some people that post on YouTube and stuff, they've got these beautiful flawless fights, and mine are always sloppy and messy. So but my strategy in this fight is to parry as much as I can and to recycle my L1s for the bleeds. The reason I like the L1s in fights like this, where I want to do damage over time without giving the defender much power, is because the L1, it might not do as much damage as the L2, but you're going to get that nice damage over time from the bleeds, and then also the L2 gives a lot more power to the defender. So the L1 is a nice way to like kind of control their power a little bit while also doing some lingering damage, which is nice. Obviously, you guys saw that this was a 345, so I knew at that point it was not a Korg. This guy did place a Korg elsewhere on the map, and going into this fight, like when I started my lane, I did know that that node had already been taken. So it is a 345 Electra, and really my only strategy in this fight is I just don't want to parry, just to give her that regeneration from masochism. And since she's only 345, I'm just letting her hit into my block. Also, that strategy might be a little bit different if I were going to be using Blade in later fights, but this is the last fight that I'm using Blade for, so I don't really care if I take block damage. And obviously all of Blade's specials cause bleed on the opponent, and therefore will proc masochism, but his L2 does way more damage than the masochism will regenerate for the defender, so I'm totally fine using the L2. And against Korgs, for example, don't have to worry about that because he's bleed immune. So, okay, now we've got Killmonger on node 29, and this fight was pretty ugly. I'll be totally honest. So. In the previous 4 videos that I've posted from this season, one where I sat out, I faced a Killmonger every single war on this node, and for the most part, they've all gone pretty much perfectly, which is good, obviously. But for the purposes of a YouTube video that somebody might reference to, you know, to try to learn how to approach a certain fight, it's not the worst thing in the world to have some failure up here to show you guys what mistakes not to make. Yeah, that's my excuse for this video. So I make just kind of an input mistake here. Definitely was not an input error on the game's part. It's definitely my error, but I'm sure we've all made that. So it's coming up here. So I go into my combo, and I go in for my combo ending medium attack, and then I'm going to chain my L2. But I got too excited. I pushed my L2 special button before I had landed my medium. So of course the game interrupts me, and I'm left completely exposed after that. He's able to block it, obviously. And watch my health. So that actually came, that first hit, if you guys saw, came when Limbo expired. So I mean, he could have killed me in that combo if not for Limbo. And then obviously gets me down to 25%. Limbo, thank God, regenerates 7,500 health for me. So it brings me up to 44%. So at this point, I'm thinking I've got 2 minutes left in this fight. I'm fully boosted. I've got the Morningstar synergy. I'm obviously behind schedule. But I can easily finish this fight in the 2 minutes remaining. Should not be an issue here. I just cannot make any more mistakes. Obviously, that one mistake cost me 80% health. I can't make any more mistakes. And the more that I hit him, the more power that he gains throughout the fight, the harder he's going to hit, the heavier his bleeds are going to be. I don't know. It's just dangerous. So I'm like, all right, no problem. I've done this fight many times without making any mistakes. I already made one for this fight. No big deal. I got this. Okay, so you guys can see too, I'm running 3 out of 3 recoil, so 10% damage I'm taking myself every single time I throw a special. But recoil is regenerating that for me. And so here, watch this. You see that little hiccup. Throws off my dash pack. And he just absolutely pounds the shit out of my face. And yeah, so that was my first death of the season. I was talking with an alliance mate last week about this, but in these wars, it's usually like, since most of us are using at least 455 or 565 attackers, you're usually going to survive one mistake in a fight. And if you guys have watched my videos, you ought to know by now that very rarely do I do I finish a fight without making any mistakes. Usually I make, a mistake, like in the magic fight earlier in this video, starting the fight off by losing the invulnerability. I don't know what it is, but I'm usually good for at least one mistake in a fight. But I'm usually able to cap it at that one mistake. And it's almost always the second mistake that's going to be fatal for you. So I make that second mistake, die. I don't know. I don't know if there's a lesson there for anybody watching this video, but just ramp up your focus to 1,000,000 once you make that first mistake in your fight, because the second one might kill you. But that is it for this video. We lost this war 7-8, so that death stings a little bit worse. But that's the video. I'll be posting another one soon. Thanks for watching.